Hello, my name is Joshua Mugabe. I welcome you to Food Chains and Trophic Pyramids. What is the primary energy source for life on Earth? The primary energy source for life on Earth is the sun. The sun plays an important role of keeping the planet warmed, and it is the source of the luminous energy used in photosynthesis. This energy is converted into organic material by the photosynthetic autotrophic beings and consumed by other living beings. What is the main means by which autotrophic beings obtain energy? The main means by which autotrophic obtain energy is photosynthesis. There is also chemosynthetic autotrophs. Which is the autotrophic group responsible for the production of most part of molecular oxygen of Earth? Algae and cyanobacteria of the phytoplankton are the organisms that contribute most of the production of molecular oxygen. In the ecological study of food interactions, what are the autotrophic beings called? In ecological, autotrophic beings are called producers because they synthesize the organic material consumed by other living beings of an ecosystem. An ecosystem cannot exist without producers. How are the heterotrophic beings divided in the ecological study of food interactions? Heterotrophs are divided into consumers and decomposers. An ecosystem can exist without consumers, but it cannot sustain without decomposers. Without decomposers, the organic material would accumulate, causing environmental degradation and later death of living beings. What is a food chain? A food chain is a linear, non-branched sequence in which living beings serve as food for others, starting with the producers and going up to the decomposers. How is energy transferred along the food chain? The energy flux along the food chain is always unidirectional from the producers to the decomposers. What are trophic levels? How many trophic levels can a food chain have? Trophic levels correspond to the position of a food chain. Therefore, producers always belong to the first trophic level and decomposers to the last trophic level. Consumers that directly eat the producers belong to the second trophic level, and so on. There is no limit regarding to the number of trophic levels on a chain, since many orders of consumers can exist. What are primarily consumers? Can a food chain present quaternary consumer without having a secondary or tertiary consumer? Can a tertiary consumer of one chain be a primary or secondary consumer of another chain? Primary consumers are living beings that eat autotrophic beings. That is, they eat producers. Primary consumer always belong to the second trophic level of a chain. A food chain cannot have consumers of superior orders without having consumers of inferior orders. A consumer, however, can participate in several different chains, not always belonging to the same consumer order in each of them. What is the difference between the concept of food chain and food web? The food chain concept is a theoretical model to study the energy flux in ecosystem. Actually, in an ecosystem, the organisms are part of several interconnected food chains, forming a food web. Therefore, the chain is theoretical linear sequence, and the web is a more realistic representation of nature in which the food chains interconnect, forming a web. What are the three main types of trophic pyramids studied in ecology? The three types of trophic pyramids studied in ecology are the numeric pyramid, biomass pyramid, and energy pyramid. Generally, the variable dimension of pyramid is the width, and the height is always the same for each represented strata of being. The width therefore represents the number of individuals, or the total mass of these individuals, or the available energy in each trophic level. What do numeric pyramids represent? Numeric pyramids represent the number of individuals in each trophic level of a food chain. In a numeric pyramid, to which trophic level does the base always refer? What about the top level? In numeric pyramid, the base corresponds to the first trophic level, that is, the producers. The top level of the pyramid corresponds generally to the last consumer order of the food chain. Since the number of individual composers, most of these microorganisms is too large to be represented. In a numeric pyramid, is it possible for the base to be smaller than the other levels? Since the numeric pyramid represents the quantity of individual in each trophic level of a food chain, inferior trophic levels with less individual than superior trophic levels may exist. For example, a single tree can serve as food to millions of insects. In short term, what will happen to the level above and below a population of secondary consumer of a numeric pyramid if a large number of individuals from this population dies? If the intermediate level of the numeric pyramid has its variable dimension decreased, that is, if the number of individuals of the level reduced, the number of individuals of the level below will increase, and the number of individuals of the level above will be reduced. That happens because the individual of the level below will face less predators, and the individuals of the level above will have less available food. What do biomass pyramids represent? Biomass pyramids represent the sum of the masses of the individuals that participate in each trophic level of a food chain. What is the dry mass? When biomass are compared, often the concept of dry mass is used. Dry mass is the total mass less the water mass of an individual. Total mass is also called fresh mass. To use dry mass instead of fresh mass is useful because among living beings there are differences related to the proportion of water within their body, and such differences can distort the quantitative analysis of incorporated organic material. What do energy pyramids represent? Energy pyramids represent the amount of available energy in each trophic level of the food chain. Into which type of energy is the light used in photosynthesis transformed? The luminous energy used in photosynthesis is transformed into chemical energy. Can the amount of available energy in a given trophic level be larger than the available energy in the inferior trophic level? What does the condition means to the conformation of the energy pyramids? A superior trophic level always has less available energy than the inferior trophic levels. This is because each trophic level only a fraction of organic material of the level below is incorporated into the consumers, into their bodies. The other part is eliminated as waste or is used in the metabolism as energy source. Therefore, it is never possible to have energy pyramids with inverted conformation. That is, the tip to the bottom and the base to the top. It is also not possible to have superior trophic level with variable dimensional larger than inferior ones. In every energy pyramid, from the base to the top, the size of the variable dimension decreases. What is the gross primary production of an ecosystem? How does the gross primary production relate to photosynthesis? Gross primary production of an ecosystem, GPP, is the quantity of organic matter found in a given area in a given period. Since only autotrophs produce organic material and photosynthesis is the main production process, gross primary production is a result of the photosynthesis. What are the factors that for influencing photosynthesis also interfere with the gross primary productivity? Mainly water and light, but also mineral salts, temperature, and carbon dioxide are factors that interfere with the gross primary productivity. What are the destinations of the organic material fabricated by the producers? part of the organic material synthesized by producers is consumed as energy source for the metabolism of own producer individuals. The other part is incorporated and becomes available to heterotrophic beings of the ecosystem. In each following trophic level, part of the organic material is used in metabolism of the individual of the level. The other part is eliminated as waste, and only a fraction is incorporated to become available as food for the following level. What is the formula for the net production or primary production? How does net primary production relate to the energy pyramids? Net primary production is the gross primary productivity less the organic material consumed as energy source in metabolism of the producers. Net primary production is equal to gross primary productivity minus the organic material spent in aerobic respiration. It represents the organic material available in the next first trophic level. The base of the energy pyramids must represent the net primary productivity, not the gross primary productivity. Since the idea of this pyramid is to show the available energy in each trophic level of the food chain. Thank you very much for participating in the food chain and trophic pyramids. Please do like, share, and subscribe.